Greetings. How are you all doing? I am super excited because tomorrow I kick off the second phase of my study with my first interview, and so I'm in the process of preparing for that interview. So I would suggest that if you are doing semi-structured interviews as part of your data collection process, that you really prepare for them. You want to come into the space polished. You want to come into the space where the person who you are interviewing and working with feels comfortable with you. And so I just want to make sure that I have that I'm organized. I don't want to come into the interview tomorrow morning kind of haphazard. And I want to make sure that I'm also in a position to provide the participant a little bit more details about the particular study. So a couple of things that I'm doing to prepare that I just want to share with you is first of all, I'm going over all of my research questions. I'm going over all of my interview questions, and I am revisiting this book, How to Write a Phenomenological Dissertation Step by Step by Katarzyna Peoples. Really good, quick guide if you're doing a phenomenological study. I always have a problem saying that, so just yeah, it's a lot of letters in that word. But anyway, and which is the study that I'm doing, and so I am really focusing on making sure that I am framing the questions, interview questions properly, because with a phenomenological study, you really want to center the experience of that person. And she is suggesting that in the interview questions, that you want to make sure that even if you're getting off track with the questions, that you guide the participant back to their experiences. And a good way to do that is to have them not only describe their experience, but to provide examples. So that's one thing that I'm trying to remember, is to, because of course you're going to get lost in discussion, but you can always just guide the participant back to providing examples of their experiences. So that was just kind of a quick, really good nugget that I pulled from here. Right, because she is saying that in a phenomenological study, that you want to make sure that you center the experience, and because it helps to uncover the where am I at? Uncover the essence of that phenomenon. And so that's really good. Another thing that I am doing is going back through some of my articles, and one in particular, as I am talking about historical trauma, is this one by Maria Yellow Horse Braveheart. It is called The Return to the Sacred Path: Healing the Historical Trauma and Historical Unresolved Grief Response Among the Lakota through Psychoeducational Group Intervention. A lot of the research, not a lot, but a good deal of the research that is out there specifically on historical trauma has been done, produced, written about through Native scholars, through Indigenous Native uh, scholars. And Maria Yellow Horse Braveheart is one of the scholars that I tend to pull a lot from. And so I just want to share this with you because I thought it was so, and I definitely, I'm sure I have this quoted in my proposal, but she says, and it's so important. I just want to reiterate this: that education about historical trauma leads to increased awareness about the trauma, its impact, and the grief-related effects it evokes. She also says that the process of sharing these effects with others of similar background leads to a cathartic sense of relief. And so part of the healing process in terms of, because my study is on healing intergenerational, historical intergenerational trauma. So part of the healing process is just being made aware of having the knowledge, of doing the knowledge and the education around what is historical trauma, so you can know that it is a thing, that is a real thing, and that it is passed on generationally and intergenerationally. So understanding that, and then having these conversations. So I'm really looking forward to my interviews. Of starting that work to sit in community with the study participants and really dig deeper and unpack these concepts of historical and intergenerational trauma, and then center how we can begin the work to heal it, and how our embodied spiritual practices will give us the space and the tools and the technologies to be able to do that. So I just wanted to jump in here and share with you. I'm looking forward. I'm so excited. I got 4 out of my 12, going initially with 12 participants, but I've gotten 4 already, 4 of the interviews already scheduled. So I'm really excited about that. And so I'll be, of course, next week trying to get more scheduled, and I'll jump back on here and just let you know how the interview process is going. You all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Thanks. Bye.